Pamela Ruck can barely see the photos that illustrate her career as an actress, let alone read a script. Yet when macular degeneration struck, there was a treatment available, just not to her.
I said, well, fine, can I have the treatment, please? And they said, no, I'm sorry, you can't, because you're not in the right postal district.
Pamela appealed against that decision and won, but the 6-month delay cost her dear. By then, there was only so much the drug could do.
Like a little blind coming down. You're walking around with a sort of, it's like a net curtain almost in front of you. All the colours go, the definition goes. You have blind spots all over the place, and it's just horrible.
The government's drug rationing watchdog NICE has defended taking so long to stop the postcode lottery. At £10,000 per eye, it says Lucentis just wasn't affordable until now.
The manufacturers of one of the two drugs that we've been looking at has made an offer which will have the effect of limiting the cost of the treatment for individual patients and therefore for the whole of the NHS. That's a very significant change, and when we've factored that into the assessments that we've been making, it's enough to make it possible for us to recommend the use of this treatment.
But for many of those diagnosed in the last 2 years, the decision's come too late.
There would have been at least 56,000, probably more, patients with macular degeneration within the time. And some of these have been treated privately or by PCTs that funded the treatment, the others haven't.
For those unlucky enough to be affected, the problem begins when abnormal blood vessels within the eye begin to grow underneath the retina. The vessels enlarge until they leak blood or burst. It's at this point that Lucentis needs to be injected to save the sufferer's vision. What the drug does is help shrink the abnormal vessels, which stops the bleeding and restores sight. But if treatment isn't received, this gives you an idea of what happens to the sufferer's vision. It becomes blurred and eventually completely distorted as a black hole develops. Once scar tissue forms, the condition's irreversible and can lead to blindness. So the drug may not be cheap, but if it allows people like Pamela enough independence to stay out of nursing homes, then in the long term it should lead to savings. Rachel Younger, Sky News.